Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. Well, today is my birthday, so when it's your birthday, you should have some cake, shouldn't you? And of course, I will try these little cakes with a nice cup of tea. So, we're going to look at 5 cakes for my birthday. A Mantecada with nuts, as I say, a Rollo de Canela, Pinguino, Submarino, and a Neopolitano. Now, Mantecadas and Rollo de Canela are both made by Bimbo. Pinguino, Submarinos, and Neapolitanos are made by Marinella, who happen to be owned by Bimbo. So basically, I'm trying 5 cakes from the same company. So going from the top, we have a Mantecada, then we have a Rollo de Canela, here a Pinguino, here a Submarino, and a Neapolitano. Yeah, I've never really tried these. I've had the Mantecada before, but and a Rollo de Canela también as well, but not the others. I wonder how these will be as my birthday treat. So let's start with the Mantecadas at the top of the plate. I like Mantecadas. I've tried the ones with the nuts before. The normal Mantecadas are very nice. They're a very buttery kind of bread. And I like the bread has a very nice vanilla note to it. As you can see, very nice makeup. Nuts are more on the outside, more than the inside. How does it taste? I love the taste of these. Sorry, speaking with my mouth full. Slapping my wrists from my mother. They are lovely and buttery with this wonderful vanilla note. And the nuts add that extra something. They are lovely. Oh, what a lovely cake. I'm one for very plain cakes, really. Well, I am British, after all. That is lovely. Oh, I do like that. Oh, and my tea goes wonderfully with a Mantecada. Oh, that's nice. That's a good beginning. Oh, that's rather nice. So let's continue clockwise around this plate of mine and look at the Rollo de Canela, the cinnamon roll. Oh, there's a lovely cinnamon note to this. Sometimes these are a little more sticky inside due to the mixture of cinnamon and sugar that they put inside. But it seems to be less nowadays. But it's such a lovely cinnamon aroma. That is such a nice aroma. And within this you get some raisins. Well, the raisins have got a lovely sweetness. Very moist. Very moist raisins in this. That's a lovely cake. I'm not really one for sweet things, but I think these are my go-tos. Excuse me. My breads, cakes that I would rather go to because they're not that sweet. There's a sweetness, but they're not overly sweet with the Mantecadas and Rollo de Canela. Oh, and I do like those. They are nice on an afternoon tea with a cuppa. Though I haven't had them for a little while. And I do like the Rollo de Canela because they have this lovely cinnamon note. They're not overly cinnamon-like. But there's this nice hint of cinnamon in there, mixed with the dried fruit, raisins. I do like those. They are lovely. Those two really are nice. So those are two that go under the Bimbo brand. What about the Marinellas? So, the first of these snack cakes from Marinella is a Pinguino. Very dark, chocolatey cake filled with this creamy filling. I'm not really sure what the filling is, and iced with this. And iced rather like that. Not sure why they're called Pinguinos, but there you go. I think they've been around for a while, I think. Has a very nice chocolatey aroma. Very chocolatey. Like a chocolate icing on top under the white piping that's there. Let's try it. It's not that bad, really. The cake, it's a nice cake. It's a nice texture. The texture of the cake is actually quite nice. It's not heavy. It's quite a light cake. And the filling is not overly sweet. I was expecting this to be rather sweet. Sorry, dogs barking out in the distance. Let's throw them a cake to quieten them down. It's actually rather nice. I'm rather surprised by this, to be honest. Yeah, it's a very light texture of cake. It's not the most natural of fillings. It's not. I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. Is it cream? I'm not sure. But the topping has this kind of glazed chocolate topping, which isn't that bad either. It's sweetish, kind of crystallized sugar, but it's not that bad, I would say. I'm just kind of dubious about what exactly the filling is. There's a nice chocolate taste. It's actually not that bad. I've never had one before. But I wouldn't say I would go back for one. Because there's this back note that is a little artificial from, I think, the topping and the filling in a way, especially the topping. I didn't like the topping, but I liked the cake. The cake had a very nice texture. It's a very nice cake, actually. It's just the topping was not to my taste. And the filling, I wouldn't say you wouldn't notice it, to be honest. You could remove the filling and it would taste the same, I think. It's just that topping. I'm not sure what that kind of chocolate glaze actually is. No. I think if somebody just gave me that cake without any topping or filling, I would be very happy, to be honest. Yeah, kind of so-so. And then it does leave a kind of nasty back note in the throat. Not the cake, but the topping. Yeah, that's remove. Yeah, with the topping, it's quite nasty. Without it, I think it would be rather pleasant. So, on to the next cake, which is called a Submarino. Now, this is where Mexican culture enters American culture. In the US, they had this cake bar called a Twinkie. And without Mexico, that brand would have just disappeared. But Mexico came in, well, Bimbo came in and resurrected or saved the Twinkie bar for the American public. I've heard of Twinkies. I've never tried one before. And it looks like I'm going to try one right now. In the USA, they had or have a brand called Twinkies, which is part of American life, American culture, etc. But they were going out of business. Thankfully, for the Americans, Mexico saved them by Bimbo coming in and saving that brand. And much to the relief, probably, of many Americans who love their brand, Twinkies. Here in Mexico, they're called Submarinos. I think they are the same, although I'm not sure. But looking at the cake bar, I think it looks a little like what I've seen a Twinkie to be. A little slurp of tea. And here in Mexico we have two Submarinos. There's a vanilla-filled cake, and this one, which is a strawberry-filled cake. As I say, I've never tried one of these before, just as I've never tried a Twinkie. I want wonder how it tastes. I mean, the cake looks quite nice. Looks a nice sponge. It looks in general, it looks quite pleasant. But how is it taste-wise? Well, it's rather dry. It's a very dry sponge. I think my mother would be quite sad to produce a sponge so bad. She probably would have thrown it away, I guess. But no, very dry. And that filling, I don't think it's ever seen a strawberry in its life. Very artificial. Oh, if this is what the Americans consider as being a lovely cake bar, as they know it as Twinkies, they really have no flavour, no idea of what flavour is all about. There you are. I mean, the cake looks nice, doesn't it? I mean, it looks as though, well, that should be quite nice, but really, it's terrible. Oh dear. So far, only 2 of these have made my birthday seem worthwhile in terms of cakes. And the Submarino is definitely not one of them. Yeah. You're left with this really artificial strawberry, if it's ever seen a strawberry flavour in your mouth. And it's not nice at all. So, on to number 5, and the last of our cakes. A Neopolitano. That was nice, really. As a kind of, I don't think it's chocolate, probably a chocolate flavoured icing with these lovely lines. And it's filled. Oh. Well, a raisin fell out. And that is really juicy. It seems as though the fruit in this is very moist. Let's cut one in half, shall we? Well, into a third at least. I mean, I'm not a person for fancy cakes, so this fills my life completely. Very plain cake. And the fruit, the dried fruit, raisins, etc., seems to have dropped down to the bottom during baking. Let's see what it's like. That's actually rather nice. It's a nice lemon flavour to the cake and from the filling, despite having a chocolate coating. You don't notice the chocolate, but you notice the lemoniness that the cake has. And then you get the fruit at the bottom. It's lovely. I'm a sucker for nice juicy raisins, but those raisins are so juicy. What a lovely cake. And what a great way to finish with the best cake of them all. And I didn't realise which would be the best. Oh yeah. I'm glad I finished with that one. It's such a delicious cake. Oh, that's made my birthday rather nice. Oh, that is nice. Oh, I'm not normally one for buying cakes, and I would say I would buy this one again. That is lovely. So nice. Oh, lovely. So, after having had my birthday cakes with a cup of tea, which is the best? Well, I would have to say that the Neopolitano, which is quite a large cake, it's quite hefty in many ways, but when I say hefty, it doesn't, I mean just in its pure size. It's quite light, a nice light kind of cake. A nice sponge, nicely baked. Despite the what looks like it's going to be very sweet on top, it's not that sweet. Got a nice lightness to it. But what I loved was the fact that it had a nice balance of this cake and raisins, another dried fruit. I really did like that. I would give that maybe an 8, I think. After that, I would maybe say, going down the list, would be the Mantecada. I mean, I like Mantecadas, the plain ones, but this one with nuts, that was nice. And I like the bread. I like this cake that makes up the Mantecada. It is rather nice. Following that, I would say the Rollo de Canela was nice too. Did I give? Oh, I didn't give the Mantecada a score. I would put that as 7. I'm sorry about that. I forgot about giving it a score. Anyway, Rollo de Canela, maybe a 7 as well. Although maybe it's a 6.8, I guess. But nice as well. Nice with the balance of the cake. Although it wasn't kind of like a cake in the same way that Mantecadas were. So it's a little more like a batter. Very different. It's more like like bread than a cake, to be honest. And the cinnamon flavour was lovely. Next, the Pinguinos were okay. I didn't really like the sweetness of the top. I much preferred the actual cakiness, which is very light. It was a nice cake. It's just, I didn't like that sweetness. The coating, it seemed very artificial in a way. And I didn't notice what the flavour, the filling actually was. And then, in bottom place, here's the Submarino. Absolutely terrible. A very dry cake. Totally artificial filling. Although it said strawberry, I wouldn't discern what fruit or filling it could have been, to be honest. No, I don't know, 6? No, I'd probably put it further down. 5 or 4, to be honest. I didn't like that at all. Which means I'm going to hate what a Twinkie is like, really. So that's what I think of these cakes. Some are good, some are meh, and some are put in the dustbin. Especially these Submarinos. Anyway, that's a nice little birthday treat after all. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now. See you soon. And I might look at some traditional biscuits next time.